What is your longest running, most stubborn business boycott? I'll go first with two of my own. Number one is Fox Rental Car. I booked it through the Expedia app and the car wasn't exactly what was shown or described, but the car was still decent. And my friend lived about an hour away from where I was contracted at. So I drove over there to go hang out, go to Topgolf. And I went through a toll. It was supposed to avoid tolls for the GPS, but whatever. And so brought the car back clean, full tank of gas. And I noticed that they had charged me like $70 and didn't give me the full deposit back. I was like, okay, whatever. This was probably for the toll. Whatever, I'll take the L. Then I got a letter in the mail saying that I needed to pay like $60 for the toll and the fee associated with the toll, but it's like, y'all already charged me some other fee and I don't know about it. Sent them an email that was listed on the paper, didn't go through. Tried to call the number, didn't go through. Shady ass company, avoid Fox Rental Car by any means. Number two is T-Mobile. There's two reasons why I'll never go back to T-Mobile. I haven't been a customer with them for like 5 years. And then you know about that security breach that happened. All of my information got leaked on the dark web. Why were they storing my information for all of those years that I wasn't a customer? And the second reason for T-Mobile is, this was back in like 2016. I had paid off my iPhone 6S so I could go switch to another carrier. Paid it off online, whatever. And then I noticed that like there was this number calling me from this Hispanic lady for like 2 years. Mind you, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what she was saying. And I kept blocking numbers and she kept calling me from a different number. And I was so confused about what happened. Fast forward to 2018, I tried to go back to T-Mobile because they had a good deal on the Galaxy Note 8 or whatever it was. And once the guy finished running all my shit, he was like, hey, they're not willing to offer you a line because you apparently owe like $200 something. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, it says that you owe a balance on the phone. And it was like, no, I paid off that phone. And then I showed him the email from like 2016. So I walk out of the store all pissed off because like I don't get the phone that I want. And I was randomly on Facebook, John Liga, the CEO at that time. I sent a message explaining the situation. What is your number? Somebody from his team, his customer service team called me and I explained the situation. And it was like, oh, we tried to contact you over 200 times. That lady that was speaking Spanish was from T-Mobile. When I bought that iPhone 6S, I had changed my plan from a prepaid T-Mobile plan to a monthly one. And the dude that set it up was Spanish and he put my line in Spanish. And it was like, I don't speak Spanish, bro. And I told the lady that I was like, I had this number calling me speaking Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. They called me like 200 times. And then she was like, yeah, there's nothing we could do. You gotta pay. And I was like, I explained, I had the email showing that I paid the phone off. And then she was like, it's not the email. It's you didn't pay a bill for closing the account. And it was like, then how was I able to close the account? Crickets. So I ended up paying the $200 balance or whatever, so it didn't affect whatever. I'm never going back there again. And then a couple years later with that security breach, which is insult to injury, AT&T charged me $45 for a collect call to home that was under 3 minutes in 1997. I never paid the bill and will never do business with them again. Bank of America, they charged me $33 a month for only having $5 in my account for 6 months. I was 8. Fuck them. Locked my keys and phone in my car while picking up 6 pizzas at Domino's. They would not let me use the phone to call my wife to bring spare key. Will not go back. It's been 11 years. I worked at Walmart for a month as a teen. They forced me to work overtime and did not pay me. I want some cash back in a class action lawsuit. I refused to spend a dime there, 27 years and counting. I refused to use a plumbing company in the area because in 2001 they gave a free quote, came out to the job to perform the work, said it was going to be triple the price, which I refused, then charged me a service fee. I refused to pay the service fee because, by logic, a quote isn't complete until accurate, and they turned me into collections. Collections called, I told them I'd be happy to pay as soon as they produced a non-existent contract with my signature attached. Never heard from them again. Fuck you, church plumbing and heating. Wells Fargo, they put our rent check through twice, causing everything else to bounce. They wouldn't refund any of the $200 of NSF fees, even though they'd send us an email that they'd made an error. The email saved us with our other first of the month bills pays. But screw them forever. This was around 2002. Soup Peddler in Austin. I've been boycotting them for 23 years because they told their customers the website I built, like use my name, was causing order delays. Only problem was they moved to a different website made by a different company 2 months prior. They couldn't even be bothered to apologize. I'd sue them for defamation, but that's just me. DoorDash. Customer service not refunding the tip to a dasher who stole my dinner doesn't sit right with me. PSA for CA folks. Starting this January, California is implementing a law that requires food delivery apps to give a full refund for late, incorrect, or undelivered orders. Enterprise. Someone renting their car crashed into me. They knew I had insurance but repeatedly harassed me personally to not only pay damages but also pay for their lost revenue. And again, they crashed into me, not the other way around. I told them if they called me again, I'd sue. I still use other car rental companies that are part of the same parent company because it's impossible not to, but I'll die before I rent from Enterprise again. My favorite story would be from my best friend's dad. Every Thursday he would order a pizza from Domino's but ask that 1/4 of it be cheese only for his children. Since they knew him, he paid the full topping price, and he did this so regularly they didn't have a problem with it. That was until one time when he was given his regular order and the owner interrupted the employee taking the order, insisted that they would not fulfill a special request like this. He explained that he'd been doing it this way for over a year and it's never been a problem. But the owner said absolutely not. He was patient with the owner, but with this betrayal of trust and how rude the owner was, he would never do business with them again. Cut to a few years later, the school he works at is taking bids from local restaurants to provide a treat lunch for their students. The contract would be regularly ordering enough for, I think, 2,500 students once a month. They got bids from a lot of restaurants and Domino's was the cheapest. So he called the owner, had him come up to the school for a meeting to iron out the contract details and explained, several years ago, you refused to let me get a pizza that was 1/4 the cheese and I said I would never do business with you again. Therefore, this school's contract is going to Pizza Hut instead. I hope that one is true. I love when stuff like that comes back to bite people in the ass over something so small. Paid the full price for the toppings and you couldn't accommodate a special request, and they were willing to do it. It's not like the owner was the one making the pizza anyway. Karma is a bitch. Red Robin has to be 13 years now. Coupon for a free birthday burger with purchase of another meal. Let the server know before I even ordered that I had the coupon. When the bill came, I was charged for both meals. I told the server and she said that the burger was a seasonal item that didn't work with that coupon. Manager backed the server. Okie dokie, that used to be a go-to easy place with groups of 6 or more. Haven't been back since. Uber stole $2 from my bank account, $1 twice, and I was broke that week, resulting in 2 NSF charges, $45 each. I called Uber to ask what the fuck they were doing. They said we're just making sure your account is active. I demanded the $92 back. They gave me the 2, said to take up the 90 with TD Bank. I called TD Bank. They told me to stop spending money if I know I don't have the money, even though I had just told them I wasn't the one doing the spending. I canceled my Uber account, closed my TD Bank account, didn't pay the 90, and never did business with either one ever again. And here we are 10 years later, neither one making a dime from me. Subway fired me for putting too many olives on a sandwich. I haven't been back in 15 years. There's this pizza place near me that didn't give me the garlic knots I ordered and told me I was lying, that I didn't receive them. Haven't gone to them for 3 years now because of that. Late to the party, but the Volkswagen car dealer locally where I live, they took my car for a wheel alignment and oil change and took me to a local coffee shop to wait with their courtesy shuttle. I lost track of time because I was studying and realized they were closed. It was only supposed to take a couple of hours. Called in the next day to complain, and the guy said he tried calling me. This was new to cell phone time, so I showed him I had no missed calls and my cell could track that. When the owner gets pissed at me and didn't do my wheel alignment for 3 days, never did change the oil, I went into the car lot at night and just took my car back. Then they had the nerve to call me and say they're keeping the extra key until I pay for the service. Fuck them. Yeah, fuck you, Bill. You're still on my shit list. Sears. I won. In 1984, I was at Denny's and was served a sausage that had clearly been bitten prior to service. The ragged end showed that it had been reheated after the assault. I showed it to the waitress, who treated me like a salad roach scammer. I have not been back to any Denny's since. KFC is dead to me. Back in 2020, I ordered a coffee via kiosk. They told me they can't prepare it because their machine is broken. I said no problem and asked for a refund. They said they cannot refund me because I used the kiosk. I left a negative review on Google Maps. They reached out to Google and made them delete the review. I promised myself to never ever step foot in any KFC ever again. It's become a bit of a meme my GF jokes about often, that we see strange empty lots when we pass by a KFC. Kohl's. They refused to price match their website, even though their signs at the register stated they would. Even the manager refused. Won't go in one. Won't even return my Amazon stuff there. Fuck Kohl's. I hope they go out of business. And they probably are gonna go out of business because I see more Whole Foods around than I do Kohl's. So yeah, it is a much easier place to return my Amazon shit to. 20 years since a contractor's van overtook me in a dangerous spot while speeding. I've never used their services and never will. Should have left a negative review on their Google Maps page. What place will never get your business ever again? Let us know down below. And that's gonna be all from me today. Thank you for watching.